Howdy everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about something that you might have heard before if you are a Marincess player or if you talk to any Marincess players. And it is this Adularia of the June Moon combo that puts up a barrier statue of the Torrents. So let me quickly read this card so you know what's going on. If you control a face-up card in your spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card. Only special summon this once per turn this way. Gain 600 attack and defense for each face-up spell trap on the field. That doesn't really matter that much. But the real important thing is that you can send 2 face-up cards from your spell trap zone to the graveyard. Send 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this card is super good in a deck like Marincess because Marincess Battle Ocean that equips Marincess Link monsters from your graveyard to a Link monster, and they go in the spell trap zones. Which works perfectly with a card like June Moon, because it means you can just fill up your spell and trap zones just by doing your main combo line with Marincess, and then you get the full value of this card as well. So let me go ahead and show you what you can do off of a blue Tang here, right? Marincess is a 1-card combo deck, so just kind of go through the main combo lines here. Alright, so we're going to normal summon it, we're going to dump the Seahorse, go into a blue Slug. Now I will also be assuming that you have 1 extra extender in hand for this as well. But to do the June Moon play, you don't need an extender. I'm just, for the sake of showing off the typical end board, I'm going to be adding 1 extra extender to hand. We're going to special the Seahorse here. We're going to make a Sea Angel. Just going to grab us the field spell, which is the Heart and Soul of the June Moon combo. Now, unfortunately, Ghost Ogre is a really popular card now, and this whole combo line basically dies if your Battle Ocean gets Ghost Ogred, so that's something you're going to have to be careful about. So we're going to make the Coral Anemone here. Now we're going to go ahead and trigger the Battle Ocean to equip our 2 links to the Coral Anemone. Now you don't need to worry about doing this early, because Battle Ocean is not once per turn on the equip effect, so we can go ahead and do it now, and then we can do it again later when we summon our boss monster. So now that we have face-up cards in our spell trap zones, we can summon out the June Moon, which immediately goes up to 28, which is pretty cool. And we're going to use its effect, sending both of our equips in order to dump the barrier statue. Now, since we haven't used Coral yet, we can target a water monster with 1500 or less attack in our graveyard, special summon it, and we're locked into waters for the rest of the turn, but we are already locked into waters because of Blue Slug, so that's fine. Alright, so now we get the barrier statue. So now the rest of our combo is now Nibiru proof, but although your opponent would probably Nibiru you before this point, so you know, take that for what you will. So now here, you don't really have a whole lot going on, which is why I added this 1 extra extender to hand. Because from here you can go for, you know, like the full line. Just, you know, add back your starters, make an Argonaut, and then Battle Ocean again to equip. You can also go for Crystal Heart to make your Argonaut unaffected, is also something you can do, but you would lose out on adding 1 of these cards back to hand. Plus the Argonaut being able to special summon the Marbled Rock with its effect gives you like insane follow-up next turn. So this is, you know, the basic, you know, 2.5 card combo, whatever you want to call it, that gets you to the barrier statue. And since June Moon is a water spellcaster, you can do some very easy small world lines into it if you also play the new Ice Jade. right? You can reveal any Marincess, go into the Ice Jade, and then into the June Moon. So there are small world lines that get you into this as well. Now, Barrier Statue isn't the only thing that June Moon can get you. There's also a bunch of other options as well. The most important one, I think, being Water Enchantress. The fact that you can just dump Water Enchantress to start your adventure engine is pretty nice. Especially because there are people that do play adventure engine in Marincess already. As well as the fact that all of the adventure cards also just put like Fateful Adventure and Draco back. Putting these in the spell trap zones will turn on your June Moon as well. So that's like even more synergy between the two. If you don't want to go for Barrier Statue, you can also go for a Testudo. The problem with Testudo is that it loses to Santa Claus. So Barrier Statue loses to Gamma Seal, but Testudo loses to Santa Claus. So depending on which one ends up being more popular, which I think as of right now, more people are just playing Santa Claus because of the purely OTK. More people are going to be playing Santa Claus. So technically you can go for both of these cards. I would say go for the Barrier Statue, just is in general the better move. But it does lose to Gamma Seal, which is the second most popular kaiju after Santa Claus. And then we can move on into the more, like, you know, gimmicky stuff. White Stingray is a really funny one, because if you summon it back with Coral, it becomes a level 4 tuner, which is pretty cool. So you can go like a level 4 tuner plus any level 4 Marincess into something like a Dragite, which gives you another spell trap negate in addition to your Argonaut. You can also go for something like a White Moray, which when it's special summoned from the graveyard off of Coral, it becomes a tuner. So it's a level 2 tuner, which can let you make things like Coral Dragon, I guess. And then you have other options like Leaf Fish if you want to do some funny like fish stuff. Or even Crystal Girl is another one that's also really interesting. If it's normal or special summoned, you can, during the end phase, add a level 5 or higher water from your deck to your hand. And if you control a level 5, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So this is really nice because June Moon is a level 5, which means you can send her and then special summon the Crystal Girl back without using the Coral effect. And then that goes into, you know, the rest of your combo, like with Crystal Heart and all that stuff, up into Argonaut, without having to use your Coral. So then you can potentially go for, like, you know, it frees up extra resources for things like Bahamut Shark. And then during the end phase, you can add a level 5 or higher water, which you can add, like, another June Moon, but you're probably not going to do that. You can also add the Ice Jade for follow-up next turn to go into something like a Chenging. You can also add Sleepy Maiden as well if you want a Marincess name. So there's a lot of cool options with this card. Unfortunately, Barrier Statue is just the best option. But there are a lot of fun things you can do with it, so I expect to see a lot of Barrier Statue, but, you know, a lot of these other cards could be fun to try, you know, if you don't want to take things too seriously.